Are you a pet photographer who's been in business for a couple of years and you're looking for a way to make some extra income in the next couple of weeks? Well, I've got some ideas for you. Monique here of Silver Paw Studio here at my studio and founder of ProPetPhotog. I am a full-time working pet and people photographer and videographer in Colorado, and I've got some ideas for you today. Now, if you are just starting out or you're an aspiring pet photographer looking at ways to find clients, I have a whole video just for you here and a whole bunch of ideas for you there. But if you do have a few clients under your belt, I have some extra ideas for you today. Now, the premise behind this video is it's best to take care of the clients that you have. Keep them in mind, keep in contact with them. It's like anything else, it's less expense and less effort to keep your current clientele happy than to go out and try to drum up constantly new clients. And that is for a variety of reasons, which we'll get into right now. The first one being ask for a specific referral. So a lot of times with my clients, they kind of become friends. I see them out and about around town. If they're a right fit client, we're interacting in other parts of our community as well. And sometimes they'll say, hey, how's business going? And you can say, it's going okay. I could still use, a few more clients in this area. And they'll go, oh, really? And if you just say you need clients, they'll go, okay, well, everyone I know has a dog. I don't know what would be a good fit, right? So you have to be careful about asking for your referrals. Let me give you a story of something I did recently. I'm working on my next book all about pit bull and pitty mixes. And I had a second round of registrations and people were asking, well, is the book full? I said, no, there's actually still room. Do you know someone that has a pitty or a pitty mix in our area that would love to be a part of this project? And I can't tell you how many people said, oh, well, yeah, actually, I have a neighbor or a coworker. I'll let people know. Oh, thank you. So I got a few more signups for my book asking for something very specific. So when you're reaching out to your past clients, you can ask them if they're ready for another session, but you can also ask them for referrals in kind of a friendly conversational way. If they bring it up, or you can actually reach out to them, I've done this as well. Hey, I just want to remind you I'm offering this service and I would love to offer it to your friends too, since you and I had such a great time at your session. And so you can directly ask for that. And it's even better if you have something specific in mind, especially if you're doing some kind of event coming up. You can say, oh my gosh, yes, could you please let them know I'll be at this event, or I have this sign up at this link for something particular in my studio. Another reason to reach out to past clients is if you are friends and kind of run into each other in the community, you probably run into each other online as well. And sometimes you find out that that client has added a new pet family member. And so you can reach out to them and say, oh my gosh, I just saw that you adopted this puppy. I am so excited. And I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I would absolutely love to meet your puppy and do a puppy photo session with that dog. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. And then they'd be like, oh, I didn't even think about that. It's so much turmoil when you first adopt an animal into your life or add one to your family. So that's another way you can reach out, is just keep tabs on them. Say, hey, congratulations for this, or happy to welcome someone to your family, or new to the area. Anything like that you can reach out and kind of say congratulations, give that personal touch, and plant the idea that this could be a good time for a photo session, because that might not be on their top of mind, but they don't want to miss that opportunity, especially for younger animals that are going to change over time. People usually appreciate being reached out to and say, oh my gosh, yes, he's so awesome. This would be great. And this is also where you can show your skill set that it's okay if a puppy is kind of running around. You only need a microsecond to get their photo, right? So that's when you start that whole conversation. Another idea is to reach out to your past clients, and especially if you have a good database, email database of them, and say, hey, I'm doing a client-only special. This is only for people who have already booked me in the past, doesn't matter when, and this could be your model session people too. Whoever you want to include in this email list, reach out to them and say, hey, I really, really appreciate you being a longtime client of mine, and you know, it's been a while since I've seen you and your pets. Even if it's only been 6 months, things change, seasons change, you know, backdrops change, everything. I would love to offer you a discount session for your next session if you do it within the next month. You know, I have open times on my books that just came available. However, for whatever reason you have open dates, and say, I really would like to offer this to you first as a valued client. And so that I've sold packages that way too. People go, oh, right, because we were going to do this other thing, but we ran out of time at the last session. So oftentimes people are torn. Do I want to do studio or do I want to do on location? And I plant the seed saying, well, why don't this time we do this and the next session we'll do that. And so you can just remind them, say, hey, remember we really wanted to do the session with the blue backdrop next time, or, you know, the special collar or something, or more of an action session. There's always something we don't fit into that last session that we could put in the next one. So that'd be a great way to take care of your current clients and any clients you've had that is not reaching out to the general public. This is a very special thing just for them. Another thing that you can offer clients is to open up their gallery again. So when I give people access to their gallery before their sales meeting, they only have access for about a day, maybe a couple of days if we've had to move schedules around. And then that proofing gallery closes. And so sometimes once a year, I would do a special and reach out to those past clients and say, hey, listen, I'm making room in my gallery and I'm archiving your photos, and I want to give you a chance to buy the entire gallery for this much. There's no extra work for you. Maybe they were digitals they already wanted, and you're offering the entire package. Maybe you're offering what you normally would be just for 10 images, now you're giving them for 20. Something like that. Put a good value on that, and then all you have to do is reopen the gallery and make it downloadable. So that is a really easy thing to do for past clients. Another way to reach out to your past clients is to offer them additional prints from their last session. Sometimes people fall in love with so many pictures, but they only choose so many at that time. And so you can say, hey, I know there was so many that you wanted, and I want to open it back up for a print opportunity. So you could do that, but even better is to offer them something specific and limited. Say, hey, you know, I'm trying out this new product idea. Maybe it's a little accordion brag book. Maybe it's seasonal greeting cards. Maybe it's near the holidays, like early fall when people are getting their cards together, and pre-design something for them. For a long time, I had a 10 by 20, and you can put 3 images in a 10 by 20 and sell it as a nice canvas. It's not a huge cost to you, but you can offer it to them as a new product you're trying out. And say, listen, I know from your last session, because you've kept notes in your project management software, that you loved these 3 images, but it just didn't work in your budget at the time. I've already pre-designed it. Here's a proof. Would you like me to just order it with the lab? You can pre-design anything. It could be a small album, a brag book, greeting cards, a limited type of print. It could be a totally new kind of print. Like, I'm playing around with the idea of offering acrylic blocks. This would be perfect for your bookshelf or your desk office. I want to see people's reactions if this is something that my clients would like. And I'm reaching out to you first. We've already done your session. You can just say yes, and I'll get this print ordered for you. So you can offer special products just for them on reorders. Yeah. Here's an idea that's not going to make a lot of money, but many of us photograph for the shelters, or we photograph our own pets so much. Why not do a quick specialty session with your own pet? Make some kind of funny cards that you can offer in those boutiques. I live in a town that's very touristy, and so if people were to go into my local boutique and be able to get a picture of a silly dog, like my dog doing something silly with some kind of words, you know, love from Fort Collins, and people can buy that as a little postcard. Those are very inexpensive, but you can make a few extra dollars if you talk to your local boutique. That is a very small thing that you can offer, but many local businesses want to feature other local businesses, and the smaller the footprint you can take from their regular sales, the better. And if you can have that right at the check stand where it can be an impulse buy, you could potentially make, you know, $100 this month just on $5 postcards. I know a lot of you are so creative. Some of you do the treat catch, you know, so, you know, wish I could have caught you here. something like that. You could do some really fun things. Or a picture of your dog in that area of town. Like, yeah, there's so many creative ways. Canva's your friend. Get a small set of those made up and go to a couple local places. You could make just a few extra dollars this month. All right, and the last idea I have for you, if you've been in business or you've been a photographer for a while, this is going to be very different. This is not client-based. Many of us hoard equipment we never use. This is not a sponsored video at all. I know a lot of photographers have sponsored videos for resale places. Sell your equipment that you're not using. Do not let it sit around and gather dust until it's so obsolete no one will pay you money for it. I have done this. You do not need to keep every single camera body you've ever had. If you have a camera that's from 3 years ago sitting on your shelf and you have 2 that you use in your studio, sell that third one. You can make $1,000 tomorrow. There's Marketplace, there's eBay, there's places like KEH. I've sold equipment to KEH. You can sell it to several places online. You might have a lens that you just replaced, like Generation 2 lens. I have the 70-200 Sony lens right now, but it's the older one, and I cannot wait to buy the new one. When I do, I'm not keeping that thing. I'm selling it. I don't need 2 70-200 millimeter lenses. If you have a 50 mil that you just updated to a 51.4, don't keep the old one. Sell it. Get rid of it. You do not need to keep all that equipment. You might have lights that you thought you'd use or other kinds of equipment you really thought you would use and you don't need. Sell it. You don't need to keep all that around. You don't need to keep it as a reminder of stuff you thought you were going to do. Clear it out. It'll clear out your mind. It'll fill up your checkbook, okay? And it'll clear out your closet. You don't need to keep everything you've ever bought. I am not a minimalist, but I'm a just rightist. I can tell you one more story. This was from probably 20 years ago now. I was at a secondhand shop just cruising around and I saw a camera that I knew was worth money in their front case and I could not believe it. It was the camera that I grew up using. And so I was like, oh, okay, it's only $20. And I bought it. I went down to the used camera store down the street and I sold it to them for $200. And I was able to buy my kids school clothes that summer. This was 20 years ago. So keep your eyes open. There might be a little piece of equipment around. If you just need a few dollars to get you to pay one of your other bills, that could help. These are all great ideas if you need some cash in right now, but you really should be working on ongoing marketing to constantly be bringing in these clients. Keep them top of mind, keep you out there. And if that's the case, you need to watch this playlist all about marketing. If you're a photographer in the first camp where you're just beginning and you don't have any clients yet, watch this video of all of my ideas on how to earn money this month with your pet photography business. As always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs.